Should there be more of an outrage at the fact that you have a sinister, corrupt criminal organization and a demonic coven, a demonic cult who has sprang to the surface, and that we're living in the days and times where we can actually do something about it by way of coming together? Should there be more of an outrage that these groups, fake phony actors and pretenders, hide in plain sight? But when you really break it down and get to the core, these are attempted unalivers. These individuals participate in all type of rituals and practices that is meant to create not just hardships and heartbreak and disappointments. It's meant to truly expire and remove and unalive an individual. They consciously participate in these rituals and activities. They hate on a level that is beyond just normal jealousy or envy, and I'll get over it and I'll, grow out of it and recognize that I have my own gifts or abilities or talents, and, things will work out eventually if I just set goals and work towards them. No, these devils are spiritual haters. These are diabolical, evil, atrocious, weak-minded, hateful, spiteful, petty individuals beyond the point of no return. Should there be more of an outrage from you all who call yourself chosen or star seeds or enlightened, intelligent light workers, etc.? If there was an outrage, what would you do about it? Would you use your sacred rage? Would you recognize your authority and your ability to move beyond being on the sidelines, waiting to see what's going to happen next, waiting to see if things are actually going to work out in favor of ones who are considered catalysts or call themselves chosen? Or do you understand the dire need and importance for us to be able to not have to allow any other chosen or starseed to go through and experience what those of you who have been catalysts to have to experience and go through? Do you really want to wait on the sidelines like cowards for the next opportunity for these groups to find out, oh, this particular starseed, enlightened one light worker, is chosen? Let's go target them now. We're talking about beyond your regular trials and tribulations and being the black sheep in your family and being abused and mistreated and people hating on you. Imagine what you experienced that helped refine you who you are today, just in your personal family, community, neighborhood, amongst your small circle, your group. Now, times that by 1,000. And imagine, instead of just your hating ass family, your hating ass friends and associates and coworkers. Imagine how frustrated most of you are with just hating ass coworkers. You come home every day complaining about hating ass jealous coworkers, and not even a lot. Just one is enough to tip you off, right? Now imagine you got a whole corrupt, sinister, demonic organization of clowns and cowards and sellouts, an intentional covenant cult that target enlightened ones, star seeds, chosen ones, earth angels, and they go out of their way attempting to sacrifice you for your essence, your light, your energy, right? Creating all type of fake life insurance policies that they want to collect on while simultaneously defaming you and trying to destiny swap and take all the blessings and abundance and prosperity and good fortune that was aligned for your destined path. Imagine having to wake up one day, go to bed normal, wake up the next day, and you have a whole criminal network and coven stalking you and following you and around. Even if it dwindles down at a certain point, because a lot of people get scared or wake up or realize they've been under federal investigation, or they realize that the people surrounding them are fake friends, and that once the investigation comes to full fruition, that all of them is going to flip and turn on each other easily. The feds ain't even going to have to do much for these dummies to flip and turn on each other and give each other up. So imagine, and that's whenever they, feel the need to come on with them indictments and them arrests, they ain't going to have to worry about, piecing this case together, because none of these devils love and honor and respect each other. They barely know each other. It's a whole group of individuals who are of all backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, age group, but have a common purpose. Misery loves company, hate, envy, jealousy, diabolical, atrocious behavior, and corrupted at the core type of miserable individuals, right? And money, and beyond just the money is the always the main thing, but you'll be amazed at the fact that they're corrupted at the core, miserable, hateful, that too is just as equal to the money, just wanting to create demise and ruin somebody's life and sit back and laugh. It's also a motivating factor of why these devils come together. But don't sit back and say, well, if the feds investigate and eventually, it'll all work itself out. That's if you have a spiritual team of the most powerful, potent beings in all of existence, your beloved angels and ancient overseers, Panatharu, and your beloved ancestors who guide you, right? There's no guarantee, right, for those of you who are on the sidelines, who refuse to come off the sidelines, waiting to see what's going to happen next, when you didn't have to wait for, this type of thing to reach your doorstep, when you could have got active and involved, and trusting that those catalysts have nothing to make up and no reason to BS you, that, and telling you from them going through it, not asking you for a dime, but telling you what you can expect from this whole ordeal and how it's going to spread, because these devils are here. These are spiritual haters, period. So you think that your light is going to keep them away? Or you think these fake Truman Show actors, sellouts and clowns in the community, these demonic cult and coven members who hide in plain sight, even use their children as props and hide behind their own children, use the environment as props to be able to hide in plain sight? Do you not think that eventually this is not going to reach your doorstep if you just remain on the sideline and definitely waiting to see how it's going to play out for the catalyst or what's going to happen next? Shouldn't there be more of an outrage? Shouldn't there be more of a need to say, yo, I see what you're saying. I see where this is going. I see where it could go. I see the possibility. Yo, I don't want to be one of those that wait to the last minute because of fear or because of jealousy or because, I didn't come up with the idea first. Don't be that one. Be the one that say, yo, I recognize your light. I recognize the work you put in. I recognize because I had to go through it and I had to put the work in. And I went through certain similar trials and tribulations, right? And I want to be support for change. I don't want to live in a world where these devils settle for the status quo and try to maintain and keep the status quo. I don't want to be amongst the sellouts and clowns who want their future children, nieces and nephews, to have to step on other people's toes to get ahead in life, to become a better person, or not even a better person, just to, achieve certain, goals and desires of receiving material gain. So we have an opportunity at Soul Tribe to continuously drill it in our heads and to each other that whatever we need to do to begin the dialogue, to begin the communication, to see the bigger picture on this globe and on this planet, in this world that we've been blessed to be the caretakers of. See, we say we're in the image and after the likeness of the most powerful, potent beings, the Most High, the angels, your whatever your cultural background is, your deities, those creators, fashioners, and makers. And yet, we expect, knowing that we too are here to go through an ascension process and to earn our way, earn our stripes, earn the right to be considered worthy souls, to be able to make it back home in the heavens, to prove that we are not going to be amongst those who intentionally create havoc and chaos, division, and rebel, those who were cast down. And we have the opportunity to show our elders, our creators, fashioners, and makers that we are going to evolve and elevate beyond being afraid and scary and, clowns and cowards and, debaters on the sideline just debating and arguing and only giving our personal opinion and not reaching any resolve or solutions, not, intentionally coming together with action and purpose, but just staying on the sideline, hoping and waiting to see how it works out and hoping that it don't reach our doorstep, knowing as intelligent as you are, if you got any type of common sense, eventually it's like a plague is going to spread and reach you as well. Especially if you do nothing, knowing how the divine moves and works. Oh, you want to be a clown and a coward? You want to ignore divine planning and divine blueprint? You want to watch another fellow starseed, light worker, enlightened one, chosen one go through it, and you sit back and do nothing, just hoping it don't reach you? Oh, it's gonna reach you then. Not by hate or jealousy, not because, oh, I wish this upon you because I'm going through it. God damn. No, I'm warning you what's gonna happen if you don't come out of your head, come out of your unhealthy ego, come out of arrogance, come out of pride, come out of, oh, I'd rather be a solo, I'd rather be alone, I'd rather work dolo. It was never, ever, never, 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 never meant for you to work alone, solo, dolo, by yourself, only for a certain time, only to a certain extent, as you, grow and heal and come out of hermit mode and learn the lessons you need to learn and develop that bond with your spirit team, your guides, your elevated ancestors and angels, and, learn that difference between the physical and mundane and the spiritual and the unseen, the things that can't be explained, the things that can't be put into words, that can only be experienced, for you to be able to see that, oh, I have a powerful connection on the other side that can't be described or explained. And only we know our relationship and what's going on, while everybody else around don't know. They can only assume and come up with their opinions and do their foolery, they foolish, underhanded tactics and plans and gimmicks and schemes. Meanwhile, you sit back just observing the whole thing. You walk up and say, I'm going to tell you how this is going to end. They looking at you laughing. Let's keep doing what we're doing. No, I'm going to tell you how this is going to end. And they don't listen. But you telling them, I'm going to tell you how this is going to end. All y'all going to end up flipping and turning on each other. Y'all going to be indicted and arrested. All your secrets is coming out of the closet. Every last secret, no stone unturned will go without being unturned. All your skeletons will be blown out of the closet. This entire criminal organization, this entire demonic cult and coven of sellouts and clowns and weak-minded, soulless individuals, all of their secrets and skeletons is coming out of the closet. Why? Primarily and mainly because they refused to shut it down and go away when they had the opportunity and they was warned. And also because they picked the wrong one. They got away with doing this dirt and evil for so long. And when they tried to destiny swap, and when they tried to destroy someone they had no authority, business to do it to. See, even the head fallen angel, whom they are all under and follow, had sense enough to get permission to go before the throne and ask if he can put one of the anointed ones through trials and tribulations. He understood he had to ask and get permission. But you have a whole demonic covenant cult. You have a whole group of idiots, clowns, and bullies who weasel their way into positions and titles, and they use it to abuse, misappropriate funds, and, mistreat others based on their false sense of power and importance and security. And so even the head fallen angel knew he had to ask for permission. And even he knew it was only to a certain degree and a certain extent. And the very dummies and Luciferians who worship the head fallen angel and say the head fallen angel was intelligent and right in the right for rebelling and questioning. Even his followers and minions and cronies and idiots don't have the wherewithal and common sense to shut it down. When it's over, when they're warned, when they're told it's over, it's enough, go away now. Even they don't have the common sense to shut it down and go away. And so Because of that, and because they thought it was cool to invade personal space and boundaries, to violate personal space and boundaries, to violate energy, to give no privacy or no respect and no regard for prayer, for one sanctity and solitude for prayer and meditation, to be able to, relax in green spaces. And these devils hid behind trees and bushes and rode their bikes in the same circle, that the same sacred circle that was created, that they watch be created for that personal space. Even if you want to be a nosy ass devil and hang out on the outskirts and record, which is still violations in my opinion, but to intentionally walk through or walk past or ride your scooter or ride your bike past the same sacred circle or space that was already designated before you came, because you intentionally stalked and pursued and followed and then watched, and then, oh, we're gonna go right through that. We're gonna be very disrespectful. So tribe, you think I, of all people or individuals, want to come on here and say there's a need for us to come together and create our own green spaces just because I feel like doing it, just because I feel like being important, just because I feel like getting your time and your attention? Nah, yo. I'm telling you, it's going to hit everybody if y'all don't listen. If y'all refuse to listen, because I am under divine decree with the authority to say so. You don't believe me? Okay, those of you who consider yourself light workers, chosen ones, star seeds, go to your spirit team, because I can say here with full confidence, my spirit team is of the utmost authority. I'll just put it like that. Now, we all know that all spiritual teams is not created equal. However, as long as you're within the umbrella or under the umbrella of the divine, you're good. As long as you get in where you fit in, you're good. You are under the divine decree, protection, guidance, healing, etc. And whatever information needs to reach your spirit team and ancestors who may not be, equally on the same, hierarchy as others, will still receive the information that's necessary for them to be able to guide you. All of you have advanced, elevated ancestors through lineages and time before, or time past, or incarnations and lives before. The thing is, if you are unsure or, you know, unwilling to, accept any old type of advice or what's being said, which you shouldn't, check with your spirit team. Ask them, who is this person? Do they have the authority to talk how they talking? Do they believe they the second coming of somebody? Do they have a false sense of importance? Do they think they important and they ain't important? Is they cuckoo quacky crazy, cuckoo quacky crazy? Ask your spirit team. And I guarantee you, if you are truly an enlightened one, a star seed, a chosen one, a healer, if you're truly a part of the divine, you're on the right side. You're not a part of those who have already fallen under judgment, marked for judgment, etc. The answer you're going to receive is going to be affirmative. I can guarantee you that. Now, if you feel that you received adverse information, then you might want to consider cleansing your energy. You might want to consider that you've been communicating with trickster spirits for a whole while and didn't know it. And you might want to try again to see and to make sure that you get the proper response. That can only be one response. And as far as the question is this person somebody that we should listen to or given the authority to bring this message and to warn us and to tell us that we must come together, and that collectively it was never meant for us to be individuals, and that if we stay on the sideline like cowards waiting to see what happens next, eventually it's going to be bad. It's going to reach our doorstep. And if we continue to rebel, even as successful spiritual practitioners, highly gifted for decades in all our lives, can our spiritual gifts be stripped from us? Can we lose our spiritual gifts and lose our foresight and no longer receive channel messages? The sad part is, There's some of you who went the wrong way, and they can attest to that. They can tell you right now because they went the wrong way and got caught up and didn't you use their discernment or follow their heart or listen to their intuition and spit in the face of their spirit team, that they've already begun to lose and have already lost their spiritual gifts and foresight, ability to see and channel. They can already confirm that for you and attest to that for you. However, because they're embarrassed and because they're scary and because, they don't want to confess to what they participated in, they will never tell you. But even in their falling and going the wrong way, they don't see that there's an opportunity for them to heal and grow and still be of service for themselves and the divine by confessing, by getting ahead, telling their own story, admitting their own faults and mistakes, and helping out other, potential chosen from making the same mistakes by sharing their story and saying, I went the wrong way. And as a result, I lost my spiritual gifts. I lost my foresight, ability to see, communicate with the divine, and my long-term angels and deities and ancestors and those who guided me and helped me and healed me and assisted me in my spiritual practices and lightened my candles and my spiritual rituals, etc. Turned their back, betrayed me, cut me off. They will be able to tell you these things if they had the courage to do so. However, we have to wait for them to wake up one day and realize, after mustering up the courage to look into the mirrors and face themselves, to finally confess and admit and tell their own story, opposed to allowing other devils around them to blackmail them and hold something over their head. Because a lot of them are afraid because the devils around them is holding personal information of whatever atrocious, diabolical, evil, weak-minded deeds they participated in, rituals, demonic rituals, sex parties, sex retreat, passing each other around, substance use, anything and everything that goes against their character and the caricature of what they built and created for the public, right? For the surface level appearances, whatever is being held, right? Whatever they're afraid that goes against their appearance, their character that they built, this moniker, that's what they're afraid of being used against them. So this is why many of them won't speak up because they're afraid. However, if they mustered up the courage to tell their own story and get ahead of it and be able to confess, like we had a genius comedian do decades ago, and then later on after he did it, there was a late night host that bit his style or used his style and told a little bit partial truth, and his partial truth of what was going on in his household was good enough for the public to accept it. He set a precedent, this genius, the original genius who told his own story, because it took away the power of these diabolical conglomerates, these, accusatory media outlets who only give you fake news and, mistruths in order to paint the picture and the propaganda that they want you to accept and adhere to. But when this genius did it many decades ago, he took the breath, the power, he took the ability for these devils to be able to give you fake news or, you know, corrupt his ability in his life to be able to support himself and mess with his livelihood or soil his name or defame his character. He took full power and authority and accountability for his experience, even if the experience itself wasn't what it was supposed to be, even if there were some traps within that experience, even if even if it was some setups within that experience, right? He still took full accountability of the experience itself, even if it was never meant for that experience to take place. The fact that it did, he still took accountability. He grabbed the bull by the horns and he was able to tell his own story and set a precedent that when you do that, you don't let nobody have authority and power over you to say, I got this over your head, I'm dangling it. If you try to confess, if you tell the truth, or if you try to get back on track, we're going to expose all of this about you. But when you say, I don't care, I'm going to expose it myself, I'm going to tell it myself. because I've reached a place of courage and power that I understand that as long as I get back on track and I repent and I reach out to my spirit team and my beloved angels, and my beloved angels accept me, regardless of this temporary setback or embarrassment, they are going to make sure I'm good. And the honor and respect and the resilience and the courage that I display and exert is going to allow my soul tribe to accept me because they saw how I handled the situation. Because I don't need to be on this side with y'all devils anyway. Right. You see? Now, even after this, if you still need to ask your spirit team about me, do so. Because trust me, I ask my spirit team about a lot of y'all. Most of you who I recognize your light, I automatically know and recognize your light. But then some of you who are kind of shaky, iffy, I go straight to my spirit team. When I'm surrounded by clowns and sellouts in the communities like these devils, when I'm surrounded by these devils and sellouts, I can automatically tell they sellouts and clowns. But when you come across, fake spiritualists, or you come across people who know all the jargon and the slogans and they talk a good game, you're like, that don't sound right. I need to go talk to my spirit team to see if it sound right. And for the most part, if it don't rest right in your spirit, because you have to test those spirits, you'll get confirmation. Nah, that one ain't who they professing to be. And then other members in the community, Soul Tribe community, will say things that you have no knowledge on because they have more experience than you have. And that's okay because all of us are supposed to teach each other and learn from each other and grow together, right? So you go to your spirit team, you say, spirit team, sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, or this particular light work or individual was saying this. We ain't get to that part in my, my curriculum yet. So, what's up? And they were like, yeah, we'll get there, but yeah, what they saying is true. However, when I, for example, there was a sister talking about elevated ancestors and not dealing with ones that who recently transitioned, and I was like, So me knowing that my spirit team is who they are, my angels and ancient overseers. She was saying she don't like mess with certain ones, and certain ones who disrespected you and you didn't fuck with in regular life. You surely ain't gonna fuck with them when they over there, and that's true, right? But the thing is, the thing that's missing when I talked to my spirit team about the same subject matter, which was accurate and true coming from this sister, was that if you're even if the ones that you didn't necessarily fuck with or get along with, as long as they didn't go out of their way to betray you and try to sacrifice you and all that stuff, but you still didn't necessarily fuck with them or mess with them when they was on this side. If they recognize who you are, they recognize your light, because once you get on the other side, even if you don't change and become intelligent and all this other stuff, you still have more access to truth, right? And so, hold on, I got a flying monkey who work at the park. He a part of this criminal organization and this demonic coven because he's standing on the sideline sending the text, turning red and shit. But anyway, and he driving one of these carts. That's why I say in the other video, they weasel their way into every position. He ear hustling and eavesdropping and sending the text, pretending he working. And he intentionally came over here just for that. And he giving me a retarded look. Clown. So, even if the ones that you didn't mess with, right, when they was here, if they recognize, because you gain truth once you outside of the physical body, you gain truth, you gain a higher perspective of truth. Once you're on the other side, they recognize who you are, your purpose, your divine path, and they join your spirit team. They elect to become a part of your spirit team. They are automatically elevated. I repeat, because the sister was teaching, yo, it takes a while for, when you transition to elevate, to grow, to evolve. But meanwhile, you have elevated, high ranking, ancestors. Everything she said was accurate and true. The only thing I'm adding when I check with my spirit team, going back to my original point, when you don't have clarity or you need to test those spirits or, confirm certain information, go to your spirit team. I'm only, reiterating what I said earlier, right? So some of you, when I go before and test those spirits, y'all not who y'all profess to be. And the spirit world ain't gonna lie. They're gonna pull your coat real fast and say you ain't who you supposed to be. Others of you who are who you say you are and all walking your divine path and all, is shining your light, whom I respect, honor, and love. You know what I'm saying? You might teach on certain subject matters that I'm not experienced in or have yet to learn and grow within. So I'll still go to my spirit team and ask. And they'll say, yeah, that's accurate. However, if they join your spirit team and begin to assist you, they are automatically elevated. So the whole process of them, having to wait, however long, because time ceases to exist once you're out of the physical body. However long they have to wait to become evolved or whatever, they are automatically elevated if they join your spirit team to help you in your divine mission and your divine path and your divine purpose, right? So with all that being said, um, I know I was talking about, asking as far as if you need confirmation about, the message I'm bringing, and even who I don't profess to be nobody. I'm just here, y'all. And I know there's a dire need for us to come together as Soul Tribe. And I also know that those who went the wrong way, if they confess and, gain the power and the wisdom to reclaim their power, they wouldn't have to worry about appearances or anybody dangling anything over their head, blackmailing them, making them feel small if they wanted to get back on track, right? They would have to reclaim their power the same way, the genius comedian did many decades ago when he took the power away from the conglomerates and the corrupt media who create fake news and propaganda and ruin people's careers and lives based on their narrative and the lies they tell in order to stop people from, building or creating a livelihood or maintaining a livelihood based on ruining their reputation and their character and their career, right? And so I could tell you early on when these people started stalking me, this criminal organization, there was local news with the actual numbers on the cameras that was popping up in different places, recording as well. So I'm telling you, when I tell you these people have weaseled their way into every facet of society, they have, y'all. This is a real well-oiled machine, a demonic cult and coven, a criminal network and organization. And I also know from growing up in New England, those feds up there love corrupt public servants and corrupt politicians and corrupt judges and magistrates and corrupt law enforcement and corrupt. They love it. The ones in New England. Now, I will only hope that the rest of the nation, the country is like that. But the ones in New England, the tri-state area, up north, when I was growing up, corrupt politician after corrupt politician, judge, magistrate, mayor, public servant, law enforcement. The ones in New England got the blueprint, baby. They hate corrupt public servants. They love corrupt public servants, and that it get their juices flowing to be able to go after these individuals in society who weasel their way, and that's how it's supposed to be. When do we get to the point where the public servants and the criminals all working on the same team, the same side, and the lines is blurred, and you can't tell what's going on because they all criminals working together. And I know people say it's always been like that because you got movies like Serpico, and you got it's always been like that. But to this degree, to this extent, nah, yo, nah. To this extent, nah. I would say no. It's always been that element, but to this extent, where you have whole demonic cults and covens running around in plain sight, and people using their children as props, and they belong to a demonic coven and teaching their children how to be criminals and cult members, and these are energy harvesters, and no. We've never seen anything like this, and most of you at Soul Tribe haven't experienced this. But from my perspective as a catalyst, and those catalysts who has gone through it, going through it, you do not want this to reach your doorstep before you decide, where can I get in, where I fit in, where can I provide relief, where can I help and be a part of this thing of us coming together and building our own. And what's going to kill you to begin to work it out in your heart and your mind now about coming together and creating our own green spaces, our own gated communities, our own grocery stores, our own laundromats, our own restaurants. What's going to kill you other than make us greater? I'm telling you, this is what the solution is. Sitting here, going through it, experiencing it. And the price is, we got to come together. We're supposed to come together anyway. When the divine is ready for the great and dreadful day, the rapture, etc., you all need to be in the same vicinity of each other anyway, so they can, do what they need to do. Because it's not necessarily going to be televised. They can quietly extract you and bring you to safety. These devils like to do everything. Well, certain covert forces and stuff, they do things quietly, get in and out and all of that. But yeah, Soul Tribe, y'all have to really, truly, 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 truly start thinking about coming together and come off the sidelines. Because I'm telling you, this thing, when you have this amount of sellouts and clowns that sold they soul to belong to this criminal organization, that post up around you just to pull out the phone and start texting and using frequencies and ear hustling and eavesdropping and pointing the phone. And I'm saying, you got these clowns and weirdos pretending they love green spaces. You know what I'm saying? But you only see them once. They weigh like 500 pounds and either smoke cigarettes, and you know what I'm saying? And that's no slight to big people, but I'm saying, when you see certain characters pop up out of nowhere, pretending they love green spaces, and the first thing they do is pull out a blunt and pull out a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll have, like, Big Boy just came up next to me and paused with the phone in order to use the frequency. Now he checking to make sure to see if it went through. They either recording or they're using a frequency, or you'll have another one like this one, and it's like one after the other, one after the other. And it's like, yo, I want to be in my own green space where I could turn and I could see people like Linda and Broen and Asteria and who else. Go to my YouTube page. You'll see all the people that I've already, put up, the Chiron and who else? All the people that I recognize their light. You know, I want to be around them people, because I know if I'm jogging, if I'm walking, they ain't gonna run in front of me like, hey, hey. Or if they see me praying in the cut, meditating, they ain't gonna intentionally walk past and start playing loud music and having fake loud conversations. I know they gonna respect this. No different if I see them. If I see bro and chilling in the cut, and she intentionally went way back in the corner and she chilling, minding her business, I'm not gonna follow her all the way back there and start playing frisbee or start doing jumping jacks. I'm gonna respect her boundaries in her space. Now, if she happen to be a next door neighbor within our community, and we see each other, I'm gonna speak. If we decide to call each other on the phone, or if I decide to call another fellow Soul Tribe member, say, yo, I ran out of brown sugar. You got any stevia? Huh? You got any vegan egg powder mix? Whatever y'all eat. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of y'all are health conscious. They were like, yo, we got our own convenience store inside our gated community. You know what I'm saying? We all got tabs. Won't you? Okay, I'll go get mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, expand your thinking, Soul Tribe. It's that time for us to come together. I'm serious. All of this BSing, thinking we gonna do it as individuals, and you not paying attention to the way the world is going, and you think it's not going to get crazier and reach our doorstep. Come on, y'all. We gotta wake up and see what's really going on. Because I can tell you that even though we say Archangel Michael and Raphael and Archangel, Anael and Sachmet and Anubis and Anpu, these are real, real tangible beings. These are not ghosts or apparitions. If they wanted to manifest in front of you right now, they could. And I've had experiences with them already. I'm telling you, you don't have to wait for these devils' permission. These are real beings with real chariots and crafts. And they are going to come extract those of you who put the work in. But those of you who are on the sidelines, scary and afraid, you'll be where you're supposed to be. You'll be left behind with the other ones who are already marked for judgment, who have fallen. As long as you remain in alignment and stay on your divine path, you will be those who are safely escorted. Or you will be amongst these clowns who intentionally try to disturb and distract. You'll be amongst these devils who intentionally are sent in to disturb and distract and to try to block ascensions. Or you'll be amongst those who are safely escorted and protected and guided and healed. Again, let me remind all of you, to be on that side, there's no honor amongst thieves. There's no healing. There's no manifestation. There is no abundance. There is no prosperity other than what is mimicked, copied, and stolen. They do not have the authority and ability to create abundance or prosperity. They can only copy and steal what doesn't belong to them and exert and extract other people's energy. That's all they can do. They don't have the ability to create and manifest anything. Only thing they can do is copy, mimic, and steal like the narcissistic sociopaths and soulless beings that they are. So what side do you really want to be on? You want to be on that side because you're afraid to get involved? Or you want to continue to remain in alignment and be obedient to the divine blueprint, the divine unfolding? These clowns only appear to be in power and to have the authority. They don't. They don't. They know there's a great reckoning that's here. It's not only coming, it's here. Now, the way the divine moves, things unfold, 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 unfold. But it's here, y'all. It's here. And even with myself, I was supposed to been elevated insofar as my resources, my finances, my ability to create, my ability to rest and have peace. But these devils intentionally use the resources, their titles and positions to block me, to slow me down. They intentionally did so. And so for me, having to constantly find more ways of survival, more ways of pulling myself up, more ways of, you know what I'm saying? And doing it dolo alone is not normal. I'm not supposed to be out here alone if I have Soul Tribe. But when I reach out to Soul Tribe, which I have, yo, I'm presenting you with this divine union contract. I get ghosted by everybody. And I don't have no ill will towards anybody because I make it clear, yo, I much rather you just move on with your life, live your life, do what you got to do. But don't get caught up with this group because by the time I reach out to you, this group is going to also reach out to you. Just like this devil over my shoulder recording me in the black dress, hanging out over my shoulder, eavesdropping and ear hustling and recording me. So I'm like, yo, by the time I reach out to anybody to say, yo, we got to work together, she turning red too. They all turn red, y'all. Um, people end up ghosting and it's something gets triggered in them where you realize, oh, we appear one way on screen. We appear one way as, mentors, etc. But really and truly, within all of us, we got something that we're dealing with. We have attachments and people and family and friendship circles, and even our own traumas as it relates to love, commitment, relationships. And then you realize, oh, everybody is not who they appear to be. Not that they bad people, not that they are fake or phony, but we all still are learning and growing on this path, our divine path. You know what I'm saying? Then you have other ones that completely miss the mark and go the wrong way and get caught up. And what can you do about that? What can you do about the choices that somebody else make? Right? Look at these clowns walk. This dude that just came with the purple shirt. He been crowding around me for a while. He walked up weird like a robot. He pulled out his phone. He started recording. He hung out near the bathroom. You got other ones walking by. But see, there was a time where I didn't feel comfortable recording around these clowns. But I realized no matter where I go, no matter what I do, these devils keep popping up. They're always around me, y'all. I don't wish this for Linda or Broen or anyone else. I don't wish this for Chiron or anybody else who I respect and admire. I don't wish this for none of y'all. I don't want to see y'all stalked 24/7. I don't want to see y'all having to go to the grocery store and the whole grocery store is filled with this demonic cult and coven of clowns that's watching to see what you spend and how much you spend and what you buy. I don't want you to go into green spaces wanting to pray and meditate and ground and get close to nature, and you surrounded by fake nature lovers that's hiding behind their children, using their children as props, and they belong to a criminal organization trying to unalive you and sacrifice you with frequencies and rituals and spell work behind the scenes, and trying to block you from connecting with the divine and your spirit team. As soon as you close your eyes, they start with fake video shoots and, fake conversations and fake this and fake that. These devils, I've seen them walking a dog, paying attention to me, and they choking a dog. Everything is fake. Or their dog is getting ready to get hit by a car. Or they ear hustling so close to me that they not paying attention to their own kids, and their own kids is about to get hit with somebody else on the swing. Shit like that is what I'm talking about, y'all. They use certain things as props in the environment, but their intentions at the core is something completely different. You have your surface level, you have what's beneath the surface, you have what's in front of the veil and the curtain, you have that which is behind the veil and the curtain. So I'm just letting y'all know, y'all, we have to come together, not because I'm trying to force it, not because I'm necessarily, want to, be around, certain people or whatever the case. But, once I had my awakening, I realized, shit, there's two sides. You got this side and the other side. So I do want to be around certain people who I recognize their light. I don't want to be around these clowns, these fake, phony Truman Show actors, these sellouts, weak-minded individuals. I don't want to be in a world where I have to be around these type of people all day, every day. I want to be able to relax and retreat to those who are like-minded souls, those who are elevated, those who are in alignment with the divine, who listen to their spirit team, who have a way to confirm truthful answers with the divine, and don't just go based on anybody just can't come in their face and tell them a lie and they go along with it like an idiot. That's how you get pulled off your course, by letting your family members and your friends and people you trying to oppress tell you anything and you just go along with it. And then you got clowns like this trying to hang out over your shoulder. As long as you don't turn around, they'll hang out over your shoulder. But as soon as you turn around, motherfuckers will start walking like robots. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, we can create and build our own where we don't have to be around clowns and sellouts and cult members and a criminal network and organization that's trying to sacrifice you for life insurance and your inheritance. And, we can create and build our own and create legitimate businesses. What's mind-boggling is you have all of these people within this group. If they all put $2 a piece, they can literally create legitimate businesses. But because they're all of all ethnicities, age groups, backgrounds, people that don't even give a fuck about each other, they just come together for the common purpose of money, greed, and misery and hate. And so those of you who truly rock with each other, even if there are certain differences, right, of cultural differences or certain misunderstandings or even little nuances as it pertains to biasness or prejudices or whatever, all of that stuff can be resolved, or even religious ideologies, all of that stuff can be resolved. None of that has to hold you back from the core principle of you being tapped in with the divine and being a true chosen star seed and light and one light worker. Right? All of those other little things can be resolved. You don't have to worry about clowns like this dressed in black and clowns over your shoulder stalking and watching you, right? And recording. Forget these clowns, man. Like I said, there was a time where I wouldn't even record because I wanted to do everything privately and peacefully and gather my thoughts. I had to learn on the fly, keep your thoughts flowing even while these devils is going. You know what I'm saying? Even while these devils is moving around, keep your thoughts flowing and don't let them slow me down. So my thing is, I don't care at this point. I'm going to just tell you the truth because I'm directly connected to the throne. When I say directly, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm directly connected to Michael. I could say this. Michael loved me and I love Michael. Michael is my big brother. For real. I'm directly connected to Sekhmet. Not the energy of Sekhmet. No, I'm directly connected to the being Sekhmet and Anubis. Anubis said all these devils is going before I do. You understand? They trying to take me out. They taking themselves out. This is why they was warned to stop. Now all of their secrets is coming out of the closet. Now all of their skeletons, this whole criminal organization, this whole demonic coven, everything is going to be exposed. And all of them is going to flip and turn on each other. Every last one of them. And so, listen, Soul Tribe, while they got all this stuff going on and I'm the catalyst in the midst of these devils, you all can decide now to begin the dialogue and the communication and let the rotary, the motor go off in your brain on how we can come together and begin to build and support one another and relieve, those catalysts who are out here going through it. I never asked you for your money. I'm not asking you for your money. I'm on the front line putting in the work, telling you what you can expect that's going to hit your doorstep. You understand? You got this other clown that was over my shoulder recording. That's all these devils do. Now, I started to go from the black screen to the visual so you can see for yourself what goes on while I'm recording. And I think I'm going to go back to that because I want y'all to see exactly what happens while I'm recording. You can see all the activity, and while I'm speaking, you could judge for yourself. Oh, that's abnormal. Oh, that don't look right. Oh, that one shouldn't be standing there. Oh, that one looks like a clown. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be able to see for yourself what I deal with, what's going on. And be like, so wow, there really is a demonic cult in plain sight, a demonic coven. They really are hiding behind their children. They really do use their children as props. They really do blend into the environment. They really do put up construction zones and create parking lots so they people can have parking spaces, or so they can be in close proximity to those who they are targeting. That's strange. That was a dead business. All of a sudden, that business is coming back to life. All of a sudden, they cleaning it out and bringing it back to life. Now that a targeted individual is in the same vicinity and neighborhood. That's weird. That the EMTs is using their sirens when there's no emergency in the environment. But you hear the sirens going off. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? You begin to observe and pay attention to all of these things that's taking place with this criminal organization and network. And you'll be able to see for yourself how these clowns, like this dude here, pretending to be looking for something when he's stalking and pointing the phone, and everybody is observing. And so you say, yo, we don't have to be amongst these people, man. We could create and build our own and have our true peaceful spaces where they don't have to worry about what we got going on. They could have each other. They could be amongst themselves. They could be the weak-minded sellouts that they are amongst themselves. And we can truly get to work and do what we got to do. Create and build what we got to build.